they're still 9 to 12% below peak employment that they were 07, 08. The cities are doing much better, because that's where the jobs are. But the rural areas, it's hard for, companies aren't going to come in there. The workforce is leaving, the young people are leaving. They're getting their degrees and going, like my kids did. So we're trying to find ways to help rural areas and bring employment back. We do that with enterprise zones. We do it by fighting for some of our businesses. I'm involved against DEQ right now because they're trying to lower the emissions by 50% on our remaining timber mills, 50%. And which means they'd have to tear out their wood burning burners, which fuel their plants, and they're as big as this room, they're huge things. But they burn wood waste. Well, they want them to have to be cleaner, so then that would mean natural gas, and then they'd have a natural gas bill. They'd have to haul all their wood waste down on trucks to dispose of it out of the areas they're in. So, we got together with DEQ and said, we're supposed to be renewable energy state, we're supposed to be a carbon sequestering state, all these buzzwords, and that's what the mills are doing. They're using their own waste and they're fueling, and it's not a fossil fuel like natural gas is. So they went, oh, well, yeah, okay. So they're going to, of course this comes from EPA, and so they're going to work with us on that, so our mills don't have to pull out their oil. Oh, at least for now. And of course it was 2,000 jobs across the state. There were 9 plants that's affected. Some of them were timber, some were asphalt. And there were 12 boilers at stake, which would be, they're about $1 million to replace, so $12 million outlay. And we could have lost thousands of jobs. So, sometimes if we put it in the right terms, it's about jobs, and it's about tax revenue, and we're not going to have any, because people won't be paying taxes if they don't have jobs. Then it changes things a little bit. Okay, our personal income was down 0.7 billion, so that's about $750 million in our state. That's a lot. Personal income tax collections are down 34 million. This is off the September revenue statement that we just got in September. The corporate income tax collections are down 30.7 million. So,
how much in line is that with the $2 billion surplus they had when we went into the session last spring?
well, a lot of that money came from last December when the capital gains were going to go up at the federal level, and so people sold their company. And people that had LLCs sold their, cashed out their LLCs because they're going to have to pay more this year. So we got this $275 million addition, which is it's a one-time deal. It's not going to happen again. So that bumped up our budget. But our concern was that that's not going to be there again. You can't depend on those revenues. So now you're seeing the falling revenues. Okay, on the handout, what I did was I took some of the 800 bills and got it on, 2 pages here. I tried to sort of give you a flavor of the session here. And I went yes, no, depending on how I voted on these things. So 498 is sort of representative of where education is going. People want career and technical education. They want actual skills. Community colleges are packed. Lynn Benton's packed. Parking lot's packed. My son goes out there. And they have some wonderful programs like mechatronics where they're teaching, this will be a degree, a 2-year degree, where you can go into any corporation or company and you can run the systems, whether they're computer or mechanical. You're the person that can run those systems. And when I toured this, it was so cool because there were 2 Iraqi soldiers that had come back, and they were using their GI Bill to get this mechatronics degree. And Benton just got I believe it's a $2 million grant for their tech programs. So we did this bill to award grants based on that, and hopefully that will be a good thing for him. No on A33, that's been in the news a lot. That was the driver's cards for people who cannot provide proof of legal presence in the United States. If you and I go to DMV, we have to provide proof, though. Okay? You have So I hear they turned in 71,000 signatures to repeal that. It was today. They only need 50 to get on the ballot. Okay, I voted no on that. That was quite a demonstration at the Capitol. There were thousands and thousands and thousands of people that came when Kitzhaber signed that bill on the Capitol steps. And they actually were so loud that we could not conduct business in the Senate. They were shouting at us. Yes?
How can they get a driver's license if they're illegal immigrants? If we
Well,
have to
they will say to
provide-
you, it's not a driver's license, it's a driver's card.
So, but if when I went in to get my license renewed, I had to have proof of citizenship.
And they don't. Yeah. Imagine if they,
So what if I
Well,
just said no? They wouldn't have given me a driver's
That's
license
right.
because I didn't have the right name?
it's a double standard. Double standard. And what's gonna happen when employers have to sign the
W-2 or I-9.
I-9, yeah.
I-9s.
because they're gonna know that that person has a driver's card, so they're gonna know they're illegal. Now, are they committing perjury? You know, is the INS gonna show up? This is a nightmare. When the police stop somebody with these, aren't they gonna know?
Well,
It's-
isn't there some little thing about equal protection of the laws?
Used to be.
So that, I don't know about you, but when I applied for a passport, I had to show proof of citizenship, and it was proof of citizenship. It wasn't some just be coming and saying, yeah, I'm a citizen. And
You have to send your actual birth certificate. You can't even send a copy.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah, so you can vote or you can get a driver's license, but you couldn't get a passport.
You know, I don't know. This raises so many questions. I think it's gonna be chaos, frankly. It's gonna be chaos. And I think that employers are gonna be put in a real spot of perjuring.
Well, it is, yeah, I know, I can remember that, I can remember having to look at people's views on and the driver's card is not gonna happen, especially when you know they won't sign up for it.
Well, and, you know, it may end up costing those people some jobs. You know, what we need is a guest worker program that's documented, which apparently we used to have. You know, we used to have pretty tight border and they documented that. Now anyway, I was a no on that.
Question on that one.
Yes,
With that card, can they apply for CDL?
for what?
For CDL, commercial driver's license, to drive school buses, semis, things like that.
I don't think so because it's not a driver's license, it's a driver's card. It's a special card. And I'd be surprised if they give us that endorsement.
Do they have to pay us a driving test to get it?
I don't know. It has to be implemented now by DMV. So DMV can set it up anywhere they want. You know, the bill was pretty vague. It didn't have the setup in the bill. So what they do is they do rulemaking
Oh, yeah.
and they take public testimony.
So did it pass or not?
It passed.
It did pass.
It did pass. There were 7 of us in the Senate that voted no.
So what is the purpose of this card?
Well, we understand that the federal government after 9/11 came down on states that had lax driver's license application processes. And one of them they came down hard was Oregon. The 9/11 hijackers had them, and a lot of them had Florida driver's licenses. Somebody told me that they had tracked some of those to Oregon, some of those licenses, that they had gotten them in